Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video I will be reviewing the movie To Be a Friend, which you can watch here on YouTube on Bimbo Ademoye TV. So this movie is such an interesting movie. So it tells the story about these friends. We have Tega and Tunde. So they've been friends since uni days, and they were more like brothers. So it's the story of how a friend betrays his friend. So we have the guy Tunde, who is, should I say, he's the type of friend that he's envious of his friend. He harbors this bitterness, anger, there's jealousy in his heart towards his friend, and which should not be. The other friend Tega, who is more like a very loving person. He doesn't hold things to heart. He genuinely sees Tunde as his brother. So after university, life happens, they'll get separated and all of that. In uni, Tunde was the cool, popular, fine boy. Then everybody knows him, everybody wants to be associated with him. While Tega, on the other hand, was the nerd who always by himself. Tunde was his, should I say, only friend, and he was always shy, and Tunde was always there to like help him out. So now that they've after university, life happens and they sort of separate, they lose contact, lose communication, and Tega has been trying to find and reconnect with his friend Tunde, which he eventually is able to do, and brings him into the company, and just so happy that he has his friend who is more like his soulmate. He is back into his life and just opens up his arms to him, the company to him, his life to him essentially. But we get to see that reverse is the case, because although Tega finds Tunde, but Tunde feels like Tega stole certain things from him. If you watch the movie, you can relate. Feel like he stole the business idea, brought it into the company to pay him salary and things like that, which is just like crazy. And getting to see how everything plays out in regards to him trying to get, should I say, revenge, or get his own pound of flesh, or just basically deal with his friend Tega for everything that he feels Tega had done wrong to him. That is it for, should I say, what the movie is about, or what you should expect in the movie if you haven't seen it. But if you've seen it, we'll talk about the movie. Now for the actors in this movie, the three main actors, basically, we have the character Tega, who is played by Deyemi Okanlawon. So this guy, it was interesting to see him in this light. I think I see him more in aggressive roles. I think in this role he's a bit calm, he's a bit in his shell. He's more like responsible, like the good guy in this movie, and that was like, should I say, why his friend used that to his advantage and just took his quietness and sweetness for granted, basically. So Deyemi really delivered excellently well in this role, because he was like a genuine friend, like an actual true friend, very open and honest with his friend. And also get to see his romantic connection, because we get to find out he gets married in the movie, and all that transpired. I enjoyed friendship from his angle, like get you a friend like Tega, like he's actually a genuine true friend. Then the other friend Tunde, who is played by Kunle Remi, is the worst type of person, the worst type of friend you can imagine. Like there was one particular incident that happened when they were in university. So I think Tega bought a shirt, like a new shirt, and was like so excited and was showing Tunde the shirt, and Tunde was like, oh, he should take off the shirt, he wants to wear it, that it will look better on him. Like from that single moment, you just know that there's this selfishness to the character Tunde. Like he's not somebody you should have as a friend. You should be very wary of such people, because just imagine, like, so his friend cannot look good. Do you understand? The one time his friend did something like he's so excited for, I don't know how much maybe he saved up to get the shirt or something like that he wants to wear, he should take it off, which is just wow. But now fast forward to now that they are grown and everything, so it's like, okay, let me give you context. So when they were much in uni, I think Tunde brought up the idea of them having a company together where he would be the CEO, Tega would be the COO, and I think something about it's like a tech company, something in regards to tech. I think they were both tech bros. So fast forward to now, now that they have grown, Tega is established. He started up the business, which is, I think the company's name is T&G, which is like initials for their name, because he was really looking forward to working with his friend. But long story short, life was lifing for Tunde, and things were not going his way. Like he was basically struggling to survive till Tega found him and brought him up, and life went uphill from there. So now his own beef was that Tega took his business idea and is now telling him to work as the CEO, not even the CEO, or not even like co-owner, or like partner in the company. And now Tega is paying him salary. Like, the audacity is the entitlement for me. But yeah, that's just like an insight into the character Tunde. Then we have the character Fola, who is played by Bimbo Ademoye. So Fola happens to be the wife of Tega. So three of them, they all went to the same university, and Tega had always had a crush on Fola, but was never man enough to talk to her, ask her out or anything. But now that they're much older, business is good, he has like a very good life and everything, they sort of reconnect, and long story short, they're a couple. So now the character Fola, at first she seemed like a very lovely person, a lovely wife, till later on down the line, where because of the husband's hectic busy work schedule, she started complaining, and it was becoming a lot, because you could see obviously the guy is trying his best, and also she's also trying to understand, but it's like there's so much more she can take. She just wants to be able to spend time with her husband, wants her child to be able to spend time with his dad, but the dad is always up and about because of the nature of his job. It became like a very, very big issue in their house, and there was a particular scene where they got into like a heated argument where she said some really, really harsh and hurtful things to him, and I was like, it did not need to get to that point. So yes, considering the tension and the friction in their home, that was how Tunde used the opportunity to slide in and make a mess of the whole marriage and make a mess of everything good that is going on in his friend's life. But Bimbo Ademoye is a wonderful actor. She delivered exceptionally well, although her character pissed me off so much in this movie, but that just to show how well she did in this movie. We also get to see Uzor Arukwe, who played I can't remember his name in this movie. So he is the friend that Tega gets to meet in prison when he's arrested, because he's suspected for the death of his wife, and where he gets to meet Uzor Arukwe's character. Like, I was so happy to see him in this movie, and it was typical Uzor. Like, you would just see him on screen is very, very refreshing. So considering how calm, chill Tega is, he needed somebody like I've forgotten his name, Uzor's character in prison, to more or less show him how things are done and help him be a bit more streetwise. And he needed that. Like, Uzor's character became more of a friend than his actual friend Tunde was to him. And of course, we know how Uzor, being Uzor, is very can be very crazy, can be very chaotic, but he was genuinely like a nice person and wanted to help his new friend to the best of his ability. Like, it was also really, really refreshing seeing all these three guys in this movie, and how different each person's role was, and how they all connected and blended into telling such a beautiful story. And kudos to Bimbo Ademoye, because apparently the story is by her, so she gave us a great watch, honestly. So that's it for the main actors in this movie. There are a lot of other faces, like some of the staffs at the company. I think there's this lady who, should I say, she's the secretary or the PA to Tega, who liked him or had a thing for him, but she was really helpful towards the end of the movie, and she was genuinely somebody he could lean on. Then there's also the police officers in the movie. I think the message this movie is trying to push is on friendship. Like, we should be very careful with who we call our friends or who we let into our lives, into our space. We should be very careful. Of course, considering the name of the movie to be a friend, you know that, okay, maybe this guy's friend will betray him or something terrible will happen, but getting to see what actually goes on, getting to see what happens, is beyond your imagination. Like, you would never think somebody would go through such extent to hurt somebody else because of jealousy or anger, or one stupid excuse or one stupid reason or the other. Like, you would not see this coming, the way the story goes. But yeah, it's a very, very interesting watch, such a beautiful story. And of course, it's a relatable story, because we hear a lot about people that get into serious troubles because of friends. It's just a movie on friendship generally, the ups, the pros and cons. Like, on the flip side, you could have amazing friendship, great friendship. Like, don't do to people what you don't want done to you, essentially. Like, that is what a true friend is about. But in this one, you see a representation of what a bad friend is. They feel like, so entitled, they feel so angry, they feel like, why should this person be here while I'm here? Why should I be going through this while I'm here? Why should this person have more than me? Things like that. So it just shows the level of bitterness, envy, resentment, jealousy a person can harbor against another person, and how you carry that on for like so many years, and how that can turn you into a monster. And it just makes you wary of who you call your friend, because there really are true friends out there, but there are also some that are disguised as wolves, or just opportunist type of friends, or just some that are fake friends. Another thing that upset me so much in the movie was, okay, for Lada's Tega's wife, she's fed up with the whole husband being too busy and everything. So I'm like, okay, they should have an understanding, or if as bad as it bad, she wants to separate from the man, or she wants to get a divorce from the man or something, she should do that. But going through such length, like making somebody use you, she understand, like use you to hurt somebody that you love, that loves you, like you have a child with, was just like, she was just basically a pawn in Tunde's grand evil scheme, honestly. Because even the part where Tega confronted him and was like, I don't even want her again, you can take her. Can you imagine? Like, he just discarded her, because at the end of the day, he wasn't doing that because of her. He used her to get what he wanted, and it was just so upsetting, like how your wife, your own wife, would stoop so low to connive with somebody, saying, I didn't want to do it, I didn't want to. Like, if he brought up this whole idea and you were not interested, you could have told your husband about it or shut it down initially. But yeah, so just shows the depth, the darkness some people have in their hearts towards another person, and how people can genuinely be evil for no reason. People can just have beef with you, people can just be angry at you for one thing or the other without you even being aware. Like, somebody can be fighting you, but you're not fighting them, and you're oblivious to the fact that this is going on, because in front of you they're smiling, they're acting cool, you guys are gisting, you guys are like bros, but behind closed door this person is plotting your demise. So only God will deliver us from such people and help us to choose the right friends and have the right people in our circle. If you've seen the movie To Be a Friend here on YouTube on Bimbo Ademoye TV, let me hear your thoughts down in the comment section. If you're new to my channel, do subscribe, check out my other videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.